Got my security blanket. Hi, my name is Kevin English. I'm an educator, and as my friends would say, somewhat of an outside-of-the-box thinker. Tonight, I want to talk about learning. This presentation is the synthesis, wow, big word, synthesis of my 12 years in the classroom and the thoughts and ideas of some really smart people. But zip, zero, zilch of them are educational experts. They are John Cleese of Monty Python fame, Susan Cain, author of Quiet, Rory Sutherland, marketing expert, and the late Steve Jobs of Apple. Insight number one, each and every year, hundreds of thousands of students take the SAT and ACT exams, all in the hopes of getting into the best colleges. These exams are put together by people who have letters after their last names like EDD and PhD and etc. So, we give these exams on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. There we go, at 8 a.m., which means our teenager got up at 7 a.m. after getting in last night at 11:30 p.m. and then eating a great nutritious breakfast this morning. Now, do these exams really measure peak performance? That is, if we think about our teenager here, have we measured peak performance at 8 a.m.? And have we measured peak performance for the majority of the students in that room? Not a chance. So what affects peak mental performance? 3 factors. The first, place or environmental stimulation. Some of us, most of us, need some outside stimulation level to maximize performance. Woody, I'm talking about learning here, not sex. Okay? For me, it is not a deadly quiet space. It is a coffee shop, like Thump, that has some background noise and distraction, but not a lot of distraction. If I'm doing detailed computer programming work, I do need a deadly quiet space. The second factor is time of day. Time, come on. Okay, time of day. This is pretty obvious. Most of us know that we're better at our jobs at certain times of the day. For me, like I said, it's mornings. For my wife, well, she would argue it's all the time. The third factor is connection or experience. The more places we study the same topic at, the more we remember. Our brain builds connections among content and place. So, when we study Algebra 2 in the park, our brain connects the quadratic formula with trees. How cool is that? So, I'm a little slow here, or a little fast. If I look at that tree, what pops into my head as I'm walking through the park? The quadratic formula, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. How cool is that? Connection and place. So, for those of you in the audience with kids, do not take the recent advice of the Bend Bulletin, which was written by an interior decorator. Told you to set up this neat, tidy desk area in a quiet area of your house for your son or daughter to study at. It doesn't work. Maybe some of the time, 25%, but not all the time. Insight number 2. Assume your doctor prescribes you a course of antibiotics for 24 days. Gives you 18 white pills, 6 blue pills. Does this increase the probability that you will complete the entire course of antibiotics? Yes, it significantly does. This is called chunking. What we've done is broken down a large task into 2 smaller tasks. Makes sense. Now you have intermediate goals. The same thing applies to learning. If you take large, complex tasks, break them down, I can see my timing is off here. Break them down into smaller, more manageable tasks, learning increases. So, by studying a little each and every day, you increase long-term retention by over 40% compared to cramming. Or, in monetary terms that we can all understand and that high school students understand, You can choose to work 10 hours per week for $1,000 or 20 hours per week for $500. One more time, 10 hours per week for $1,000, 20 hours a week for $500. That's chunking. Insight number 3. Let's talk about group work, group think, or what I call brainstorming. We're told, or we all know, that groupthink or brainstorming results in the most creative solutions, right? Wrong. Groupthink, as we know it, keywords, as we know it, results in generic, non-creative, consensus-driven solutions. Further, groupthink actively involves only half the audience, those with the big mouths, the extroverts. Does this mean that all groupthink is wrong? No, we just do it wrong. For extroverts, the process needs to be groupthink followed by individual think followed by groupthink. For introverts, the process needs to be individual think followed by groupthink, and so on. So, if we have a group composed of both introverts and extroverts, how do we make this work? We don't. Actually, we do. We give the introverts the problem before the first group session, usually a day to several days in advance. That is, give those damn introverts some time to think. To summarize then, to maximize learning, what you need to do, there we go, what you need to do is take some good drugs and go for a walk through the park. Or really, to maximize learning, think about place, time, connections, do a little bit each and every day, think alone, and think with others. Thank you.